This video is sponsored by MyLikes.com.
Do you like making money for advertising stuff?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, MyLikes is the website for you. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You post or you make your video like you normally do. You post it to this website and you make money.
Lots of it.
Yeah. You choose between a bunch of different advertisers like MyLikes. There's beauty things, there's car things, there's games, there's a ton of different things you can choose from. And you just make a little commercial like this.
Like this one.
Yes.
And guess what we're doing? Making money.
Yes.
Huzzah.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello everybody and welcome to another Dicey review. My name is Royson.
And I'm Josiah.
And today we're reviewing the game Careers by the Parker Brothers. It's for 8+ age category and 2 to 6 players.
Yeah, so the game is kind of similar to the game of life in some respects. You're running around the board basically trying to acquire fame, affection, and money. The three big life goals, I suppose. And to do that, you have to get different careers. And so the board has a bunch of different career paths that you can take if you land on them. And they kind of just have little divergent paths of their own on the board. And so yeah, basically you just land on different spaces and they'll either give you more money or affection or fame, or you'll lose some. And so yeah, the basic premise is just to be as happy as possible, I suppose.
Throughout the game, you're just going into and out of different career paths like sports and farming and business and politics and everything, and you're just going through these, and that's how you collect all your fame and fortune and everything. But yeah, they've come up with a bunch of different versions of the game. The basic premise has always changed, but they've just updated it. The original version was actually in 1955. And the most recent, I believe, is in 2003.
Yeah, we think the game might have been discontinued, but we can't quite figure it out from our search on the internet, but you can still buy it a bunch of places, so even if it is discontinued, it's not hard to find.
Yeah.
So you guys can still buy it if you're interested.
Yeah, we actually have 2 different boards here. This is an older one. I believe it's from the 70s. I'm not quite sure. And we also have the most recent one, which was from 2003. It's really difficult to see everything on it, but you can just see the difference just from that. It looks a lot better, but the board does not function well. There's creases in it and everything, which cause you to have to always fold it down to be able to read stuff, and the typing is just really small.
It's quite tiny, and especially if you're on the opposite side of the board.
Oh.
Like if your piece is on the opposite side of the board from you, you basically have to walk around the table to the other side of the board and like squint at the print before you can even read what's going on. So yeah, and basically the whole thing is really actually quite low quality. I think it's kind of a typical just Parker Brothers mass-produced game. Nothing against Parker Brothers, they're amazing, but they don't, except in special editions, they don't tend to put quality into their games. And so it's pretty standard for them. It's a great game, but definitely not on the excellent quality side.
Yeah, you have to actually like guess what you're going to get if you're going to get more fame, more fortune, or more stars or whatever.
Yeah, when you're playing the game, you have this little piece of paper. You probably can't see it, but there's just a little thing at the top, and you have to get a total of 60 points. And basically, a point can be in either the money, the affection, or the fame. But you have to decide beforehand in what quantities you want to get each. And so you can either try to get, you can try and split it between the 3, or you could go just all out fame and try and become really famous and get all 60 points in fame. But then acquiring money and affection don't help at all. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of have to decide what balance you want to take. Like when we just played a couple minutes ago, actually, I just did 20-20-20 because it's easy, and then you have a good chance of filling all 3 of them because it's just even, and you don't have to get a lot of anything. But it's really cool because you have to decide that before the game starts, and so your strategy will change depending on what you've chosen. So yeah, that's just kind of a really neat little aspect of the game, that you have to choose a strategy or a tactic before the game begins.
Just a little tip, I recommend not going for a lot of hearts. It doesn't seem like the hearts are spread out as evenly as the others. The hearts pretty much are in like one or two places, and that's teaching, and there's a tropical island that you can go to, and you can get a lot of hearts from there. But it really doesn't seem like there's a lot of hearts throughout the board, but there's a lot of stars, and I recommend going heavy money. I always go for like 30 out of my 60 points for money at least, and yeah, especially if you get into sports or something, you can easily get that in one trip through. Okay, so we're done that part of the video, and I guess now on to the review part of the video.
Okay, so the first thing we usually talk about is time. How long does it take to play? This game is fairly simple and straightforward, and depending on what your choices were as far as what you were trying to go for, the game could take 10 minutes to half an hour. Probably half an hour is on the long side of things. But again, it does depend on what your choices were as far as what you wanted to make your goals in the game. But half an hour is probably just on the tail end of it.
The price of the game is about $30. Again, we're not sure if it's discontinued, so it could get more expensive as time goes on, and it could be a lot harder to find as time goes on. But for now, $30 seems about good, online at least. I don't know if it's available in stores, we didn't really look. But yeah, 30 bucks, so it's actually reasonably priced. It's a good time and everything.
And we also want to mention the quality, although we already did a little bit, but just to recap, the quality is pretty low. And so, at least for me, that kind of makes me feel bad about spending $30 on it, because as much as it's a pretty good game, I just don't think it's worth $30 just simply because it seems to be manufactured so cheaply. But that being said, it is only $30, and board games do tend to run higher than that, so the price is not too bad.
The next thing we want to talk about is family friendliness. This game is definitely meant for the family or for kids. Parker Brothers usually does that well. They seem to choose the more kiddish games, not to hate on that, but the more family friendly games are definitely produced by Parker Brothers a lot of the time. The random people like Z-Man Games or Avalon Hill, they tend to go for the more wide audience and the higher aged audience. But yeah, considering it's recommended for ages 8+, and I think people younger could even catch on. They might not get the strategy of it, but yeah, it's pretty family friendly.
It's simple and playable, it doesn't take long, makes for a good family game. I wouldn't call it a party game, though. There's not a lot of excitement in the gameplay, and so I definitely think this is for families to play together with younger children. As to replay value, again, like we said, this is kind of a kid's game, and so it doesn't have a lot of replay value in that sense. I mean, little kids will just play games forever and not really care, but for us older audiences, I think this game would get old very quickly, in fact. It's a good game, but there isn't a lot of replay value here. Okay, so for overall rating, I think we've kind of been saying, it's just mediocre. It's a good family game. There is just not a lot of excellence here. Good for kids, maybe good for a couple of plays by older audiences, but just not excellent in any respect. And so I'm just going to give this game a 5 for just I guess mainly because of the family friendliness. It's what's getting it its good rating.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I'm going to give it a 4 just because it's so simple, it's not very fun. I remember liking it as a child. I played with my grandparents and stuff when I went to their house, but yeah, it just doesn't have a lot to do with anything. It seems just to be just a cheaper and less fun version of Monopoly or the game of life or other stuff like that, where you just go around the board doing stuff, and yeah, there's just not a lot you do. But I guess I want to mention in this video the lighting. if you guys like this lighting setup a lot better, just let me know, or let us know, I suppose.
Yeah,
And just
we
give
like
us a
it.
thumbs up. We spent like $60 on it, so not a ton, and we will be getting professional lights in the near future. But for now, I thought this was a lot better than the previous setup, because we have a work light over there and another light over there, and it seems to really help out with lighting.
I feel professional now. I don't know.
But,
See myself.
yeah. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you could like the video and subscribe, just let us know what you want to play next. And until next time, have a great day. See ya.